Hey, hey, what's going on? This is Sunshine.
And E.
All right.
Hey everybody, once again, Sunshine and E's in the house doing some more reactions on life over the years. Through the decades.
So we
time.
So we worked our way from the 20s. Now we're about to get all the way up to the 50s that we're going to do now. And we're going to do some of the video. We're not going to do all. We're going to try to stay a little consistent. Just basically focusing on the daily life. Might not get too much into the popular culture, but we're going to get to the daily life, comparing the life in America going from the 1920s up to the current. So let's get started with the 50s. Before we do me a favor, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also share, comment below. So come on, let's go.
The 1950s were a prosperous decade for the United States. What was daily life like for the average American during this fabulous decade? How did Americans spend their leisure time? In 1950s America, the average family consisted of a father, mother, and several children. The average age for marriage amongst men was approximately 23, while the average age for women was about 20. Married couples usually stayed together, with only about 20 to 25% of marriages ending in divorce.
Oh, so for eyeglass not
the husband of the family typically went to work each day, while the wife of the family stayed at home. The family unit was important to Americans. They ate meals together, went on outings together, and did other things together as a family. Parents played an active role in their children's lives, nurturing them and taking care of them as they matured, and disciplining them when necessary. Dr. Benjamin Spock became a household name throughout the decade. His book, The Common Sense Book of Baby and Child Care, became one of the best-selling books of all time. He advised parents to trust their own instincts about parenting and to treat their children as individuals. The post-World War II economy was booming in the United States. This meant many people were going back to work, making money, and spending it too. The average yearly salary was $3,210 at the beginning of the decade. This had risen to $5,010 by 1959. A minimum wage job paid 75 cents an hour, while a job in a factory might have had an hourly wage of about $1.50. Of course, each individual's actual pay would have varied greatly depending on their job or profession. The price of a new home in the 1950s cost from $8,000 to $12,000. Again, the prices would have varied depending on how extravagant the home was and what neighborhood, city, or state it was in. A new car averaged between $1,500 to $2,000. A gallon of gas for that car would have cost someone about 30 cents. A dozen eggs or a pound of coffee could both be purchased for about 79 cents. A gallon of milk cost about 90 cents, while tomato soup was 10 cents a can. A woman's dress could be purchased for a little more than $3, and a good pair of shoes might cost $6. A men's suit might cost about $30, while a new sewing machine could be purchased for $20. Television was increasingly becoming a part of day-to-day life throughout the 1950s. At the beginning of the decade, only 9% of American homes owned a television. However, by 1959, this number had dramatically risen to 90%. Watching television programs in the evening became a staple family activity. The most popular program of the decade was I Love Lucy, starring Lucille Ball and her real-life husband Desi Arnaz. Leave It to Beaver, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, Father Knows Best, and The Honeymooners were all popular programs as well. Adults were also entertained by programming such as Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Perry Mason, The Ed Sullivan Show, The Lawrence Welk Show, The Milton Berle Show, which was also known as the Texaco Star Theater, and the Jack Benny Program. Meanwhile, children found interest in Captain Kangaroo, Howdy Doody, the Mickey Mouse Club, and the Adventures of Superman. Most television programming in the 1950s was intended for middle-aged men. As a result, westerns were quite popular. Gunsmoke, The Rifleman, Wagon Train, Maverick, The Lone Ranger, and Have Gun Will Travel were all popular at some point in the decade.
Oh, okay, we starting getting into entertainment, but it's amazing to see those prices. But when you look at what people got paid, I mean, it's just kind of in line.
Yeah, it's in line with what they got paid at the time.
You know, you just think you get making 75 cents an hour. I mean, there's only, so even though something's cheap, 10 cents, I mean, you know, hours worth, it take you an hour worth to buy, what was they have for 10 cents, a can of soup. You know, you get 7 cans of soup, man, that's an hour, it'll take you an hour to pay for that. And it's funny how it's not a huge, you know, 75 cents for minimum wage, $1.50 for somebody working in the factory. And it's not a big difference. You would think that a factory worker might make $2 or $3. But, you know, it's weird how that is and how the cost of things. That's why, you know, especially houses, if you can get in the house, eventually that price is going to increase. And so, you know, just think if you was able back in the 50s, you know, somebody that's in the 50s to pick up, pick up, you know, 2 or 3 houses, you know, they could, you know, retire if they can maintain till it reaches that point where you can sell and make money. So the house, that's why real estate is such a good investment. So, you know, but that was the 50s. We're going to move on to the 60s, make our way to the 2020s. You know, tell us what y'all think, and if there's something we missed about the 50s, you know, it seemed like things are starting to get better. We got out of what was it, the Depression in the 30s and 40s. We're kind of coming out, more women have started working, and then I think it said past World War II. So now it's exploding. The market is not exploding. People doing better. So we'll see what happens in these next couple of decades that's coming up that's going to bring us to the 2020s. So y'all let us know what you think. We're going to get out of here. Before we do me a favor. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, also share, comment below. And I do believe that's it.
Yep. Thanks for listening to Sunshine and E.